What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we've got something special for you guys. I'm going to be showing you guys one of my favorite decks that I've built for Commander. It's going to be Chatterfang Squirrel General. As you can maybe tell, I really like the guy. I got a playmat of him recently, my first ever playmat actually. So without further ado, we're just going to kind of hop right on in here. So Chatterfang is the commander. As you can see, he costs green and 2 of any. He's a 3/3. He has Forest Walk, so he can hit your opponents if they have forests and they can't block them. And then he has a cool little interesting ability here where if one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus that many 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens are created instead. Now that's awesome because you can just be creating squirrels left and right, chump blockers, you can use them for stuff. And then he also has to pay black, sacrifice X squirrels, and target creature gets +X -X till end of turn. So you can use that to boost one of your creatures, boost him by +2, -2, so he'd be a 5/1. Hitting with Forest Walk, that's pretty good commander damage. Or you can use that ability to kill your opponent's creatures. Say your opponent has a 3/3, sacrifice 3 squirrels, they get +3, -3, and die. It's pretty nice. So this deck works pretty well because it's a combo deck. So I do have a bunch of cool combos in here. I will show you, and I'll show you how they work. Here's my squirrel tokens. I really like them. I even have a foil, so that's pretty cool. But I'll put these guys off to the side for now, and I can show you guys how the combos work. So this is one of my favorite combos. Pitiless Plunderer and Chatterfang Squirrel General. So how does this combo work, you may ask? Well, we have Chatterfang, who makes 1/1 squirrel tokens whenever you make another token. And we have Pitiless Plunderer, who makes a treasure token whenever a creature I control dies. So, whenever a creature I control dies, it'll be making a treasure token as well as a 1/1 squirrel token. So, with both of these tools at our disposal, we can now do a combo. We can crack the treasure token to sacrifice the squirrel with Chatterfang's ability, giving one of our opponent's creatures +1, -1 till end of turn. That'll give us another treasure token because our squirrel died, and give us another squirrel. So we're back where we started. And we can just loop that basically as much as our opponents have toughness on their creatures. And we can just keep going, and then we will end up with a treasure token and a squirrel. So these guys on the side here are nice little modifiers to this combo that can give you life, can drain your opponents of life. This will turn the combo from a board wipe to a win. Now another great combo modifier is Mazarek Crawl Death Priest. He makes it so every time you sacrifice a permanent, you'll put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Combining that with the board wipe of Pitiless, you now have a huge Chatterfang to swing at maybe potentially lethal commander damage. Now this isn't my only combo in this deck, it's one of my favorites. Now, there are other things that you can do to make sure you have infinite squirrels on board, as many as you want. There's 2 very nice combos for that. One of them is here, Squirrel Nest and Earthcraft. You actually don't need Chatterfang for this. So how does this combo work? We have a land, enchanted but with Squirrel Nest. This makes it so you can tap the land to make a 1/1 squirrel. We also have Earthcraft, which makes it so you can tap an untapped creature to untap target basic land. So, those are both of our combo pieces, and we can make it so we tap the land to make a squirrel, then tap the squirrel to untap the land, to then tap the land to make the squirrel. So on, so forth, making as many squirrels as you want. Literally as you want. So at the end of this, you will end up with the land tapped and a squirrel untapped. So the cool thing is, if somebody tries to board wipe you, you can just tap that squirrel to untap the land. All the squirrels that you own die, but then you have that land available to then just refill your board. Now combine this with the guys on the right, and maybe even a Dina Soul Steeper, and you could just have a lethal right there. So it is a super nice combo. Again, if you're pairing it with, say, something that gives you life every time a creature enters the battlefield, and something that whenever you gain life, your opponent loses life, you can just kill your opponents. It's very cool. If you don't have that, you can just make 1,000 squirrels and the next turn kill your opponents with 1,000 squirrels. It's super fun. Very big fan. Earthcraft, also a very expensive card, one of the most expensive singles I bought. I think I bought this for over $100, but super cool. Very big fan of having it. Next we have another Infinite Squirrel combo, Scurry Oak and Ivy Lane Denizen. So, this is a nice 2-card combo. You play Ivy Lane first, then you play Scurry Oak. Ivy Lane will see a green creature enter, i.e. Scurry Oak, and put a 1/1 counter on target creature. That's going to be Scurry Oak. Now when a counter is put on Scurry Oak, you make a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. Now that's a green creature entering, so that's another 1/1 counter, which will make another squirrel token. So that's another green creature. So that's another counter on Scurry Oak, and that's another squirrel. This is an infinite combo. You can do it as many times as you want. And the putting the 1/1 counter on Scurry Oak, the making the green squirrel token from Scurry Oak is a May ability, so you can stop it whenever you want. Now this is an awesome combo because you get infinite squirrels and you have a huge creature with Scurry Oak. Adding in our usual modifiers with, say, Dina Soul Steeper and like an Essence Warden, you're making infinite amount of creatures, which will give you an infinite amount of life, and that's infinite life loss for your opponents. Again, you don't even need that because next turn, if they don't have any answers, you just swing with a bajillion squirrels. But another thing, you can have Blood Artist and Chatterfang out and just sacrifice X squirrels and deal that much damage with Blood Artist. So it's great. So many options. And then, of course, there's other cards that you can do that increase these combos. Some of the cards I have, Bloodletter, makes them lose double damage. That's always pretty fun. Also a nice flyer to have in a deck of lots of non-flying tokens. Ashnod's Altar gives you a good sack outlet, but also a good way to get more mana if you need. And another card that my friends really kind of dislike, Yawgmoth Thran Physician. So Yawgmoth is great because you could pay a life, sacrifice a creature, put a -1/-1 counter on up to a target creature, and then also draw a card. That's pretty insane on itself. But when you have infinite squirrels to use at your disposal, and say Pitiless out, which will make more squirrels when the squirrels die, you can just continually cycle that, albeit you have a specific amount of life, so you will be draining yourself. However, with Blood Artist out, you'll be regaining that life, and if you throw in an Essence Warden as well, you'll be gaining life overall in this interaction. So he's a great combo piece, but he does require some other setup to help work and help make it infinite, or not so that you're not draining your life. But he is a very good resource, helps get rid of your opponent's creatures, helps draw cards and get more combo pieces. He is very scary to opponents, I will say. This group of cards here will help you thin out your deck to get to the combos. So we've got Deadly Dispute. This will help you draw cards and make treasure tokens. Also, you got to sacrifice, but that's all right. Ideally, we should have lots of squirrels. Necrosynthesis, nice to put on Chatterfang. They get 1/1 counters whenever another creature dies, and when they die, you look through the top X cards of your library, where X is the power, put one in your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library. Here are some more great card draw pieces that we can have here. Necropotence, obviously just removing your draw step and drawing as many as you want for that much life. Sensei's Divining Top, help you skim through the top. Chatterfang, an indestructible attacker that makes it so every squirrel that hits is going to give you an extra card. And Skull Clamp is great because you can just throw that on one of your squirrel tokens to kill it and draw 2 cards. So very useful with these 4. We've also got some wonderful ramp here with Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Open the Gates, and Farseek. Helps thin out and get you some more lands. All of these wonderful tutors and tutor-esque cards that just help you search for a card that you need, put it into your hand. Great for grabbing combo pieces and just obviously whatever you need in the moment. Lots of options here. One of the nice cards is Auric Lore Mage. He'll make it so you can search for instant or sorcery and put it into your grave. Now combined with Life/Death, Eternal Witness, or Unearth, you can grab that card back from the grave. So, what would you put into the grave? Oh, I don't know, maybe a tutor or 2. Help tutor for the tutor so you can get what you need, you know? But that's just a great little application with this guy. He can also just be thinning out your deck by removing the instants and sorceries as well, so another neat application. And then this is one of my favorite cards in the deck, Threats Undetected. It lets you search for 4 creatures with different powers, and then an opponent chooses 2 of the cards for your hand and 2 to go back in your library. So this is just a great 3 mana, grab 2 of your combo pieces, because no matter what, you're getting 2 of the cards that you wanted. So even though they're going to split up, say, the Ivy Lane and the Scurry Oak, which is an infinite combo, you can pressure them to give you either the Pitiless or the Yawgmoth, which is another combo piece. So either way, you'll be fine, and your opponents will be scared. So many options with this card, but these are just the 4 that I typically grab. Love it. And Protein Hulk, a new grab I just put in here. So throw them out late game, let you search for a bunch of small stuff or some of your combo pieces if needed. So these cards help you thin out to get to your good combos. Next, we've got some token support. These will help out your squirrel tokens if you don't have the combo going. Jaheira, Friend of the Forest, gives your tokens the ability to tap for green. Skull Clamp, you can chump out one of your tokens and draw 2 cards. Give all of your tokens haste. Does also work for your opponent's creatures, so it's nice to drop right as you get all the infinite squirrels. Let your creatures tap for a mana of any color and then put some nice effects on them. Doubling tokens, pretty much, also makes you, if you have Chatterfang out, this will make you 2 2/2 green cat tokens and 2 1/1 squirrel tokens. Nice little board explosion there. Doubling tokens and doubling 1/1 counters. This does affect your opponents though, so it'd be better to have doubling season, but still very nice to have. Verdant Command can make 4 squirrel tokens if Chatterfang's out, plus another one of these other abilities. And these are kind of just making more and more squirrel tokens. Squirrel support, more squirrel support, making squirrel tokens, making squirrel tokens. Sack outlet, but also a squirrel. When he dies, you get that many 1/1 squirrel tokens equal to his power, so that's pretty cool. Squirrel Mob gets +1/+1 for each other squirrel on the battlefield. Pretty nice if you've got infinite squirrels. And Toski, cool little squirrel guy. Can't be countered, indestructible, attacks each turn if able, and lets you draw a card for each creature that deals combat damage to a player. So that's pretty cool when you're attacking with a bunch of squirrels. Or an unblockable squirrel. I like this duo. I think they go hard. This is our removal. Some of the removal has already been stated, kind of. See Pitiless, see Yawgmoth. They help get rid of your opponent's creatures by using your squirrels. But these are some other things. Sudden Edict forces a player to sacrifice. Lots of destruction here. Crippling Fear. I usually choose squirrels, so everything that's not a squirrel will get -3/-3. Can hit some of your combo pieces. It does really help though if your opponents have a big board and you kind of have not that much. Toxic Deluge, very similar, except you just pay X life and all creatures get killed for that much each turn, so, or not till end of turn, so this is very good removal. Grave Pact, it's awesome when you just keep sacrificing your squirrels, because then your opponents have to sacrifice their not chump blockers, and you can just swing right on in. Love this card. Goes very well with Pitiless and other combo pieces like that. Feed the Serpent, good old exile. Dothy. I put this in removal because your opponents won't have a graveyard anymore. So that's nice. If they're using instants and sorceries, they just go to exile, they can't use them anymore, and you can snake it away from them by sacrificing Dothy. So that's always pretty cool. Sarulf. Sarulf, Realm Eater is cool because when opponents put permanents from their battlefield into the graveyard, he gets +1/+1 counters. Then at your upkeep, if you want, you can remove one or more +1/+1 counters on it. Or no, sorry. If he has one or more +1/+1 counters on it, you can remove all of them. If you do, exile each other non-land permanent with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of counters removed this way. So he could be a nice board wipe. He does hit your stuff too, which is unfortunate, but still a good last resort. Ganker Bloom, kind of self-explanatory, 2 mana, plus an extra to activate him to destroy either artifact, enchantment, or proliferate. Pretty cool. And then lastly, that's the majority of the deck. But what we are missing is our mana base and mana helping cards. So we're gonna go over the lands last, but we have Nature's Will in here. So whenever one of your creatures deals combat damage to a player, you untap all of your lands and tap all of their lands. So that's pretty cool. Arcane Signet, Mana Rock, Soul Ring Mana Rock, Dark Ritual, gets you that extra 3 black mana if you need. And now we have our lands. These are all lands, and we have got some nice utility lands up front. Boseiju, super nice. You can channel it to destroy a target artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land an opponent controls. Yavimaya, Cradle of Gross. Yavimaya, Cradle of Gross. Yes, because this card is gross with Chatterfang. He has Forced Walk over all of your opponents now. So he's unblockable. Very, very cool. After Yavimaya, we've got Cabal Coffers. Add black for each swamp you control. Command Tower, City of Brass, and any mana you want for 1 damage. Verdant Catacombs, nice little fetch land. Golgari Rot Farm, 2 mana, but you gotta bounce to use it. Necroblossom Snarl, nice dual color. Nice dual color again, Woodland Cemetery. We got the basic land types on this one, Woodland Chasm. Same with Haunted Mire. Golgari Guildgate, Restless Cottage, the tapped lands, Darkboar Pathway, nice little flipperoonie here. Tainted Wood, can tap for both as long as you got a swamp. Access Tunnel makes it so creatures are blockable. And then we've got our basics, Forests and Swamp. For each, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of each of our basics plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We'll make 32 lands in this deck, if I just counted correctly. It is a little low. A lot of people do put like 35 or 34. But with all of the ramping and additional mana, it can work out. This deck works pretty well, if I do say so myself. So, that's a nice little look at Chatterfang, one of my favorite decks to use. Just infinite squirrels swinging at your opponent. Fun little combo deck to just kind of hunt for your pieces, bring them back from the dead. There's lots of cool shenanigans that you can pull with this. So for now, thank you so much for watching. It was great to have you here and kind of explain one of my decks to you. This was great. I'll do it again. I have plenty of other decks to do this with, so might as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I would love to have you here for the next video, and catch you next Friday. Bye.